Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of the Java Complete course for beginners. In the video of today, I'm gonna show you all you need to understand the loops, the for loops and the while loops. As for the other videos of the playlist, no initial knowledge is required, only motivation and some tools. Check the first video of the playlist to see how to install them. I recommend you to follow the video repeating the examples with me to optimize the learning process. And at the end of each section, you can test your skills with some exercises. If you're ready, let's learn Java. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the code I use in this video is in GitHub. You can find the URL of the project in the video's description. Okay, what are the loops and what are they used for? A loop is an iteration, a repeated action over a list of elements. They are used to run a set of actions over a list. When programming, I always have to deal with a list of elements. Like when searching for a user, when I have all the users stored in a list and I have to compute to calculate the age from the birth year. Or having all the users in a list, search for one who has the name equals to John and return only this one. Because I can break a loop in the middle, yes. I don't need to iterate over the complete list if I already found the one I wanted. Or the easiest one, print in the console 10 times a message. I know it has no application, but it's the loop which is shown on all the tutorials. Let's start with the while loops. The while loop will perform an action while a condition is met. Let's use the user search use case. Here I have a user object with its name and birth year. And here the initialization of the list with some elements. I want to find the user who is called John. First thing to do, create the exit condition. I want to look the user until I found it. When I found it, exit loop. For that, I will create a variable result. Initialize it to null, to empty, and the exit condition of the while loop. I will search for the result until I found it. I will still search it when it's null, when the result is null. I will check for each item if the name is equal to John. If yes, save it in the result variable. Otherwise, nothing. Fine, no, but I have to access each element of the list. How? I will take the list, get, with an index. I have to specify the index of each element. It starts from 0 to I don't know how many elements there are in the list. Don't worry for now, but I still need the index. I initialize it outside the loop at 0 and increment it at the end of the loop. And now check if the user name is equal to John. If that's the case, save the result to the result variable. Lot of work just to look for John now. Let's print the result at the end and run it. Great, it works as expected. I could end the video now and you're done with the loops. But in my job, I always try to do it the best way, in an optimal way. What happens if there is no John in the list? There are two options. I'm stuck in the loop forever and ever, or I got an error when accessing an element which is outside the limits of the list. You can test it, it's the second option. But the first option can't be discarded. So I first start in the while condition, another condition, the list length. I check that the index is always lower than the list length. This way, I will never end up with an outside bound error. And there is another benefit. I don't iterate over the list twice. When I iterate over the whole list, I exit the loop. I will never get stuck in the loop forever. Just the first loop and it already seems very complicated, right? All those checks that may or may not occur. I'm starting with the while loop, but it's the oldest one and the less used. Another optimization I can do is the following. I already know the first time when entering inside the loop that I have no result. I should first check for John and then test for the result. This is the do-while loop. I first iterate and then check the condition. I copy the condition and move it to the end. It's the same loop, but I first do an iteration and then check the condition. That's an evolution, but I have to check the list length, I have to increase the index value, I have to check the null value of the result in 2 places. I'm not a developer to write all this stuff, and for sure I will miss half of those checks. And here comes the for loops. The condition for the for loops is split in 3 parts. The initialization, which was done outside at the while loop. The exit condition, which is in the same place as the while loop. And the increment, which was at the end of the while loop. This time, with the for loop, I have the 3 checks together in the for loop declaration. There is no way to miss them. The rest remains as it was, no changes. Let's run again and see if it almost does the work. Yes, I prefer this loop, don't you? It's more compact, it's harder to miss a condition, because believe me, you will miss some conditions. It's human, I did it thousands of times. Okay, do you choose the for loop? Do you think it's optimized? Of course not. Let's see a hidden phase of the for loop. As I'm iterating over a list, as I want to check each element, let's just specify the list and get each element. This is called the For-Eeach loop. This way I don't have to care about the length nor about the index. Better, no? Who thinks it's better now? Who thinks it's not better? Pause the video, think about it. It's too easy if I give you the solution right now. Compare with the previous for loop. Did you find why it's not the best now? Before I have 2 exit conditions, the length of the list and the result, which is no more null. But now I don't have the second condition. I will iterate over all the list until the end, even if I found John at the first row. Why continue checking for it so? How do I exit from this devilish loop? With the break statement. When I've found John, I set it in the result variable and break the loop. I have nothing more to do inside the loop. I won't waste my precious time inside the loop looking for John. The break word will break the loop where I am. It works with both the for and the while loop. But what happens if I use the return word already here? The return word breaks the method I am in. Doesn't matter at the place I am. Doesn't matter if there is more code below. The return keyword works as with the break, but for methods, and returning something or nothing, which is this case. So I can break the loop with the break keyword and with the return keyword. Do you want more? One last. Now, instead of stopping the loop, I want to jump until the next iteration. I know John is an old name, so if the birth year is higher than 1980, I don't even want to look for the name. I know I won't find John. I want to quickly jump to the next iteration. I want to continue with the next iteration. I want to continue the loop. I will use the continue keyword. If the continue is executed, the current iteration stops, and we start with the next one. I don't exit the loop, I continue with it, but in the next iteration. As before, this works with both the while and the for loops. Recap. I have 2 kinds of loops, the while and the for. The while have 2 variants, the original and the do-while loop. The same for the for loops, the original and the for-each. To manage the loops, I have the break keyword to break the loop, to stop a loop, the return keyword to break the loop and the method, the continue keyword to jump to the next iteration, and of course the exit condition, which is written in the loop definition. How do you feel? Don't hesitate to write in the comments if my videos are too hard or too soft. If the examples I use are too complicated and you prefer to print the number from 1 to 10. Test your skills now. Test how attentive you were during the video. Here are some of the exercises in the test folder. Read the comments, create a loop for each one or correct the existing one. Run the tests which are in the test folder. Right click, Run as, JUnit test. Run them as many times as you want, it's free. Correct the assignments until this bar is green. And if you are stuck, you can find the solutions in another link I left in the video's description. But I know you are a smart guy. You will only check the solutions to compare with yours, not to see the solutions as the first option without any try. I hope you enjoyed this chapter. Click on the like, subscribe and see you in the next video. Bye!